Oh shit. Must be review time. How's it going, everybody? Well, today we're going to be looking at the Freemax Starre Pro. I've had this one a couple of weeks now. Picked this one up at Sweet Vapes. Woo! I don't know what to say about this one, guys. When I knew this tank was coming, I really got excited about it because I knew how much I love the version 1. But it's not as good as what I thought it to be. Well, I tell you what, y'all go ahead and grab a cup of coffee. Let's go down and look at this thing. I'll tell you about it, break it down for you. We'll vape on it, and I'll give you the pros and cons. So come on, let's take a look at it. Come on, let's go. All right, and we're back. So here she is, the Freemax Starre Pro. This tank does come with 2 coils. It comes with 2 nickel coils. Comes with a 0.25 and a 0.15 nickel coil. And you can see on the markings here of all the different coils that you can purchase for this. But as it states where it's checked, that's what comes with the product. So let's take the sleeve off. Pretty much same packaging as the original one came in, the version 1. It is temp controlled on the coils. Gives you all the little, what comes with the kit. A little scratch and sniff and all that good crap. So, let's take this one out. And here is the tank itself. So, they have changed this tank up considerably. One con right off the bat, this tank has gone to a 4 mil on capacity, which the version 1 was a 5. This thing does drink juice, so that kind of sucks. It now has a little AFC up here on the top by the drip tips, so you can set those, which to me is another con because I just don't care for that type stuff. But it still has nice airflow here at the bottom. And one thing I would like to point out on this tank, with me only having this tank a short period of time, I don't know if condensation had built around this rim right here, but it almost went to a rust color with just in a matter of days. And it took a while to get that cleaned up. You know, I don't know if this thing builds up a bunch of condensation there or not, but this tank is a little bit tricky to clean because it only breaks down to a point, and that, you know, to me that's a con right there. Another thing is it only comes with 1 glass now, where the other came with 2. So to me that's another con. So it's like we took a few steps backwards on this deal. So, and what they tried to do here was give you top fill, and it is a janky top fill. I don't care for it. I know other people out there have had this same issue, but I'm a person that doesn't look at instructions all that much, and didn't really think I needed to on a sub-ohm tank. But I filled this tank up when I first got it and put it on a mod, left it in the upright position, walked off for a couple of minutes, and came back, and pretty much all 4 mils of juice I put in were gone. And where did they go? Well, it went all over my mod and my desk. And this is the reason why. Let me go ahead and take this top off real quick for you. So this is the top fill portion. And as you can see, there's a little hole right here, and I think this is what creates the vacuum with the switch on top. But this is what you're supposedly supposed to do here. Let me get this back. There we go. So, close top fill like that, and then you're supposed to back off to there. And as you can see, let me get my camera focused, there is an on and off. So it is now in the off position, which will not allow juice to flow out. If you turn this tight and then just leave it alone, it is in the on position, which means if you don't get this turned back, you are going to lose all of your juice. And this is not just a flaw with this right here. I have seen many of people that have lost juice off of this deal. So I don't like this at all. This should have been kept. To some people, that, I mean, this is a simple thing just to turn it back, but it's too much, you know. I don't like the design at all, but it is spring loaded in here. And so we're going to go ahead and break this tank down. So take off the bottom. And as you can see, there's a fresh coil in there. This is the 0.25 coil. I've already used the 0.15 coil. Take the top off here. And I want to show y'all something. I cleaned this tank thoroughly, and it's been sitting for a little while. And you can see that there is a little bit of juice that has come out. So there are little areas of this tank that are just damn near impossible to hit. And I called myself cleaning this tank very well. So like I said, it's hard to get this tank good and clean. So let me take this off. So you have your little top fill cap there. There's your glass. And as it goes from here, that's as far as you can break it down. And let me see if I can get this piece right here. When everything is set and this has pressure on the inside, this is spring loaded in there, which is, you can't tell now because you can just see me moving it. But this piece right here no further breaks down. So you've got many areas in there that stuff can get trapped in, and I mean, it takes an accessible amount of cleaning to get all this knocked out. So just not a big fan of that. So it's got a nice sized chimney on it, and I don't want to just down this tank completely. I mean, it does vape pretty good, especially with the nickel coil, but there's some flaws working here, and it's got, to me, more working against it than for it. So I'm going to put this back together. It's pretty simple putting this thing together. Put my cap back on here. You can hear the twisting and turning. Threads are not, they're not butter. I'll put it to you like that. Also, another thing on this I wanted to point out when I was cleaning this tank, the threads on the inside, and luckily I had a glove on and a thick cloth, but when I was turning in here, that cloth was just getting torn up and caught. So it's got some jagged edges in there. You can almost tell just by the looks of here that it's not the best machining at all. So people, please be careful sticking fingers in there. So there's another little point against it. And as you can see right there, there's the spring action to it. You have to kind of push to engage those threads and spin that back on. So it seems like they've made this tank a little bit more advanced than what it needs to be. I don't know what the purpose was in it, but it is what it is. Another flaw to this tank is the drip tip. Drip tip comes out. If you want to use another drip tip right off the bat, I have to tell you, if you try to use one of your other ones, it will not go down far enough to cover these air holes up, and you're gonna have too much air coming in right there. You have to find a drip tip with a very long shaft right here to be able to get down in here and cover those holes up. So another flaw to it, so, or con. But that's all it really is right there. It's just, man, I really expected more out of this tank when I first seen it coming out, and it just not there. So let's go ahead. I'm gonna get it filled up. We're gonna vape on it and tell you about it and give you my final thoughts. And we're back. Well, pros and con time. I don't have a whole lot of pros to give it. The cons win this time, and I hate that because the version 1 was such a great tank, and I can't say that for the version 2. A lot working against it, but they just went in the wrong direction with this tank. Now, don't get me wrong, it does produce a pretty decent vape in nickel. I have not tried any of the regular Canthal coils running through it, but I get the gist of it. I know what it'll do. But I went ahead and put some juice in it, put it on the Vapor Shark, and I'll show you what she'll do here. As you can see, it produces a good amount of vapor. It doesn't lag there. It's got a nice, good flavor off the tank, It's just, the top fill to it. It sucks. And I mean, it sucks bad. I don't like what they did there with it. And I know as sub-tanks keep coming and coming into the market, people are trying to put that new edge to it, but this just wasn't a good one to me. But another thing I don't really like about this tank, it is 79 millimeters tall. It is a pretty damn tall tank. It's just got too much work in there on it. So I really hate that I feel like I've bad-mouthed the tank on this whole video. It's just not there. The version 1 definitely wins this battle. I've also got the Crown tank, and it still doesn't touch a Crown yet. But y'all might want to try it out. Like I said, I purchased this one at Sweet Vapes. At the time I purchased it, it was going for roughly around 29 bucks. They do have a new version of it out. It is in the black now, so go to their site, check it out. Certain there's other people that also have it. And since I've had it for the past couple of weeks, I actually believe it's dropped off in price a little bit too. So if you're curious, like I was, go try it. But I think you might be a little disappointed with it, especially if you've had a version 1. And that's probably all I can say about it. Let's take a vape. So, with that being said, this call is on y'all. So, try it or not. I appreciate everybody watching. Thanks to all my subscribers out there and future subscribers. I'm going to keep them rolling out to you. And y'all have a great day.